Hello everyone, I am Tacit and welcome to the Gems of War Campaign 10, Campaign 11, Week 10, Day 2. So today, we're going to finally be getting the kitty. And by that, I mean maxing the kitty. So, of course, we've been having the Halloween event going on for the last little over a week now. And with that being said, of course, we've been making progress on it. Daily progress is doing our free battles, little 50 gems each day. And we are currently at the Carmina's kitty portion. So if we just do a few more battles, boom, we'll have a maxed out kitty. Actually, by a few more, I mean one more battle, actually. And we'll have ourselves kitty all the way maxed. You just buy it 5 times, you get the 1 copy already from the calendar. The other 5 give you 30 for 31 total, which is exactly enough to get it maxed. And then all of our resources are going to go towards the power orb, which of course we need for that achievement. It is the only achievement we currently do not have. Last I checked, it was actually at 0%, so I'm pretty sure it's gone up by now. Even if it was 0%, it wasn't actually 0%. Obviously, some people already got it. Actually, right now it says 0.2%. So, obviously, more and more people are starting to get it rolling in, including us soon. But not today. Today is Kitty. So let's go get the cat. Anyways, hello everyone! Also, we'll primarily be doing the faction event today. Of course, we got ourselves the Umbral Nexus faction. So definitely going to grab our loot from that. Probably also make some progress at the Ward event and go from there. Of course, we also finally covered the team's video earlier today, as well as everything else with that. As well as some for Carmilla herself. Not just the kitty, but specifically for the actual troop. Same ones from the stream a little while back, though I did adjust the cheaper team as I didn't like it as much. So I did adjust it to be slightly cheaper, though I still went with a bit of a harder to obtain weapon, mostly because, unfortunately, there's not really any low rarity skull spam weapon for people. That's something hopefully it'll add into the future. Who knows, maybe next hero class will end up having something like that. But it's a category of weapon that there aren't really too many options for out there. But what we do have an option for now is, let's go max this kitty. Got all of our points now. Wanted to do it all at once. Obviously, we could have already been getting some of them. However, this will allow us to get all of them. Of course, we can also go get the purple pet food to go max this out. We probably are getting the purple pet food ultimately, but how many points we are likely to have by the end of all this. However, I definitely prioritize, of course, the power orb first. So we're going to go get the power orb, and then if we have excess, we shall get the purple food, which honestly isn't too bad for the cost of what is effectively about 1 to 2 gems each. Probably closer to 2 gems each. You'll get yourself 105 purple food for what will effectively come out to roughly 200 or so extra gems. Maybe, yeah, about 200 actually. Like 200 or 300, really depends. But either way, even if you're spending like 3 gems per colored pet food, that's honestly not that bad of an exchange rate. Compared to other methods to obtain colored pet food in the past, that's actually not bad at all, even if it does come out to 300. For the trade stones, yeah, that's a little pricey because it's basically, you know, just a major orange for like 200 or 300 gems. However, doing the same for purple pet food, or any colored pet food for that matter, with that quantity is honestly not that bad. Anyways, let's keep going. Oh, so hello everyone, maybe say all hellos. Hello, let me start from the top. Hello Gimli. Hello Ricardo. Hello Barbara. Hello Bill. Hope everyone had a wonderful Halloween last night. Hello Lester. Hello Isabel. Hello Genki. Hello Tyrion. Hello, Ricardo. Hello, Clip Bomb. Hello, Roman. Hello, Diego. Oh gosh, it just jumped like crazy. Hello, Supernova. Hello, John. Let's see, who did I miss when it skipped like that? There we go. Got dungeon level 12 today? Nice. I think we're at level 10. We were going so dry on these stairs, but now we've actually been doing a pretty decent amount. Let's see. How was the birthday stream? We haven't done... Oh, wait, who had a birthday? Wait, didn't Genki have her birthday? Oh, no, hers is further back. Wait, whose birthday was it? Because ours isn't until a couple days from now. It'll be this Friday. Friday night. Though we'll be streaming during the day, but we're probably just doing like Mario Odyssey or something. While still doing our normal Gems of War stream at night. Any suggested team for the Onyx Giant? Yes, we covered a whole video on it earlier. I would say Oshia's Tome is a pretty good route to go. My absolute favorite one... Oh gosh, which one did I mention was my favorite? I actually don't have it on copy-paste anymore because all the team videos we've been covering lately. I actually can't remember off the top of my head which one was my favorite. But Oh, you know which one was my favorite? I remember now. It was the Titan build. My absolute favorite one was definitely... see if I can remember off the top of my head. It was Titan. Yeah, it was Oshia's Tome Titan. Followed by Double Baldir. Surrounding an Onyx Giant. That was definitely my favorite one so far. was going the all-in build on doing it with giants. Most of our teams were elemental based, but the only one that we covered that was giant based was definitely my favorite one personally. Also because it had a lot more options for skull spam. It's also basically just better Baldur team. So one issue that Baldur team kind of had was it lacked a little bit in the speed department because it only had like all the skulls, so it didn't really have a good cleanup option. And having those Uber Doom skulls to be able to create in between actually helps speed up. Like in a lot of teams, it actually slows down the team because you have to figure out where everything goes. But Baldur creates so many skulls that the ratio of how much color is left on the board means that pretty much any target that you click that has alignment will end up giving you alignment. So you can simply just go and click on the board. Whereas in a lot of other situations, you have to like count how many colors you have and all that to make sure it actually works. But Baldur creates so many skulls that the ratio of remaining color relative to how many skulls there are normally makes it so it's 8 or less. So you pretty much always know, or at least a lot of the time, if you just click somewhere where there is alignment, it's almost guaranteed that the number to do so is correct. So yeah, it's pretty nice. It's working out decently quick, at least for Explorer 12. I'm not sure if I would use it much else anywhere else. And even for Explorer 12, of course, there's plenty of other options these days. However, yeah, it's a fun trip to use. That's probably the biggest thing that the Onyx Giant has going for it. It's a lot of fun to use. It just doesn't seem too practical to use too much into the future, though. But it's definitely a good skull utility trip to consider. Like, I'm definitely going to be using it more than Camila, that's for sure. Like, going into the future. Like, if I'm looking for, like, an alternative skull option, it is definitely more commonly going to be Onyx Giant than it is Camila. Hello, Alistair Soup. Welcome, welcome. As well as John, Diego. Let's see, we'll take that one over. Grab our Destroy. Unfortunately, not enough red. We'll make it work. Gosh, why is there so much purple? Oh, I guess because of Purple Storm. That makes sense. Also, double stealthy getting in our way. Well, unfortunate. Though, it's probably not ultimately going to matter much. I was going to say, how on earth do we not have alignment? Wait, do we seriously not? How does purple to, or red to purple not have alignment? There we go. I was going to say, there's so much of that color on the board. There's no way it doesn't align. Somewhere's there. Because there's too much of it for it not to. Right, there we go. Also, this has been the team that we've been running for the higher levels. I mentioned the most recent teams video too. But it's been working out. There might be something like slightly more efficient than this. Because our lead's kind of bad. Like, leading with a Thrall. Definitely not a skull-oriented lead, that's for sure. You know, he helps with mana. And ultimately, that's what most Zugov teams are looking for. Just a lot of mana, because Zugov teams normally care more about cycling mana than they do with how much damage their lead does. For Explorer 12, that's an exception because, you know, you're looking to win as quickly as possible. So you normally go like the triple damage burning because you're going to locations where you know you can get away with triple damage burning. But for the most part, Zugov teams really don't care how much skull damage your first slot is doing. Like, it is helpful if that number is high. But a lot of times, most of your damage is coming from insta-kill anyways. And there we go. We now have 130 spare. And of course, over the next several days, we'll just be going for Orb of Power. We could even break it down just to make sure we know for sure we're going to be getting it. Because on average per day, we're going to be getting, at this point, probably around 34, maybe 35. But if we mapped it out at 34, we can figure out real quick about how many points we're going to be getting. So, if we go take the 6 battles that we're going to have for the next 5 days... So we just do this real quick. 6 times 5, 30 total fights. Let's say we're getting about 34 average each. Might be actually slightly higher than that. So yeah, we're going to get 1,020. So we're actually going to be able to get everything except be slightly short on the Tradestone bundle, which is a little unfortunate. However, we'll be able to get absolutely everything except the Tradestone bundle. I need to double check exactly how many times I've spent 100 this week, as I don't believe I've kept track of the exact number, but it's either 2 or 3 times. So I don't think I needed to do it most of those times. I think I only need to do it once. Because I knew with the math that I did earlier that you had to do it like at least once. But I wasn't sure the exact number when I was doing it earlier because you have to factor in all the increased numbers that you're getting constantly. But yeah, it does look like you have to do it about once. But like the 2 or 3 times that we did it, I don't think we actually needed that second or third to be able to cover everything. Assuming you do it every single day. But yeah, we're going to have a little bit extra. Because at this point, from what I could tell, we're going to have like 300-ish extra, roughly. 350, somewhere around there. Hopefully we get a little bit more, because then we can also get the Tradestone bundle, but we'll have to see what it comes down to. But we're definitely going to get enough for power, easily. We're going to have enough for pet food, easily. It really comes down to, do we get enough for Tradestone? So I think we'll live if we don't get this. The amount of resources there is pretty pitiful. Maybe the Celestials were a higher amount, because you technically do use Celestials later in the game for some things like crafting various kind of useless stuff, but still somewhat useful. But, I don't know. It just isn't that good a value proposition, obviously. Anyways, so we're on level 10 dungeons. Let's go see how many... Oh, that was quick. We're speed running fails on this again. There we go. And I won't take that trap yet. What is even this? Is poison? Yeah, poison. That makes sense. Alright, let's just go take these out real quick. So, I've actually been using Zugoff for these, for the most part. Main reason being is we've gotten deep enough where their stats are getting high enough that I really don't want to do AoE. I think we could still technically get away with Tesla at this range if we really wanted to. But I've kind of just been switching all the way into just standard Explore 12, especially as we start getting a few more floors. We're already going to be so high that we might as well just be running Explore 12 anyway, so that when we adapt to the next one, it's already going to be good to go. Because we don't need to worry about the scaling on this, as it should scale up to almost everything. It is nice that we still have one-shot ranges. We'll stop one-shotting, however, two-shotting with this team isn't really too big a deal either. As similar to the other team, most of our damage is coming from Zugoff, not necessarily our skulls. While still being able to one-shot with skulls is pretty nice. Not being able to is not too big a deal, since most battles we're killing most everything with Zugoff anyways. So the little bit extra speed is definitely helpful at this current range. Any holiday currency you don't use is lost. Yes, that is correct. Who asked that? Barbara? Yes. Do make sure to use absolutely all the currency you possibly can, without spending too much extra, because any currency that you do not use will be completely lost, so it will not be saved in any way, shape, or form. Whatever's not used, just goes away. So make sure to use all your points before the end of the event, and if you're close to an objective that you want, you might want to throw down a few more gems to end up getting it, as you cannot roll over the points between event to event. They are exclusive to each specific event. So any that you currently have for the Kamina event right now will not carry over to the Christmas event, for example, or whatever the next one ends up being. Because we might get one for the 8-year anniversary of the game this month, as that should be in about 2 weeks from now. If we're actually going to get one or not, who knows? Obviously, we're going to get one for Christmas. That goes without saying. But, yeah, we don't know if we're getting any between then, other than the Christmas one, obviously. Okay, so faction, I'll be doing you in a moment. We'll probably do that last, because that's going to be the most time-consuming thing we're going to go target today, that's for sure. Anyways, let's go mess with, I guess, the ward event. So we do still have ward events. Scoring for this is really weird. Basically, if you're doing a lot of battles, take circles. Like, if you're one of these people, take circles. If you're anywheres here, take circles. But if you're just buying, like, you know, helping out your guild, you're doing tier 2, tier 3, tier 0, tier 1, like any tier from 0 to 3, you probably just want to do rarity order. However, if you're doing anything tier 4 or higher, as in you're even like remotely attempting for leaderboard or for the top of your guild, it is probably advised to do purely circles. The circles give additional scaling bonus, and while this doesn't take effect in... It basically, it has such a diminishing return initially that if you're doing a smaller amount of battles, it's not really worth taking the circles, or at least prioritizing them. But if you're doing a higher amount of battles, you definitely want to prioritize the circles, as the deeper and deeper you go, the more points you'll end up getting from them, which will make their value ultimately higher rather than lower. Like, for example, we'd want to prioritize basically only circles if our goal was to go super deep. However, since I'm just going for, you know, a lower amount of tiers, I'm taking this one, then this one. But if you're going super deep, you would take this one, then that one, and that one. Because initially you get more points from the non-circles, but ultimately if you kept doing them over and over and over again, you would get more points from every circle compared to non-circles. It's a really weird event. Where basically it's different depending on what your goal is for the event. But since we do not care about doing too many fights, we will simply take the non-circles here. And just do it in rarity order. Unfortunately, we're kind of forced into a circle now. You've been using Celestial Flask. Oh yeah, Celestial Flask is a lot of fun. It's a weapon I feel like I don't use too much these days. It's one of those weapons underneath, like, it's really good, but I don't really use it much. The teams that you use for have to be really built around it, is probably why I haven't used it too much. It's generally not a weapon you can plop onto a team. You have to build your entire team into using the weapon. But once you do, it is strong. You basically, it's infinite loop. It's not a perfect infinite loop, but compared to weapons that can be used in a loop team, it's among one of the best. The absolute best is definitely Norbert's Turnip in a 4x Goblin team. However, it's definitely high up there. I think it's like one of the top few loopable hero weapons. as far as maintaining loop. I would even say it's a better loop weapon than Rope Dart. While I personally feel like Rope Dart's slightly more useful, the loop ability of Celestial Flask is higher than Rope Dart. It's fun with Possessed King, true. Yeah, there's a lot of weird builds you can end up making out of it because you get so much mana. So like any kind of Mythic doesn't like literally have a 0 mana cost, but it sure feels like it. Like you get so much mana when you actually hit the correct color. And things that have triple color end up just getting so much value from it. We're going to take this one. And it's probably our last battle, unless we get a Vow Raven here, though I think we are. Have we even seen one? Yeah, I was going to say, where's our Vow Raven? I haven't even seen one today. There's our daily Vow Raven. Well, it's technically not guaranteed, but it would have been very likely by that point. Also, we should have enough damage at AoE kills here. And we do. It's why we're running that instead of Urskia Shield. So we have a little follow-up poke there. Can you buy more than one Power Orb? No. The Power Orb is only at a 1-buy limit. However, given that it is an achievement, we can make the assumption that every single one of these holiday events will have a Power Orb. So it is 1 buy limit per event. However, it is very likely that every event going forward that is a holiday-related event will have the Power Orb at access. So you'll simply be able to go and get it that way. But yeah, 1 per event, but probably every event will have one. Also, if you didn't care about the other rewards, it is actually possible. I'm not sure if it will be every time, but at least this one was. It is actually possible, if you ignored every other loot, to have gotten the Power Orb without spending a single gem, which is actually kind of insane. Especially given how Power Orbs have been obtained in the past. But if you did not care about any of these other 5 loots, and you only did the free battles, it is actually possible to get the Orb of Power. I think it came out to like 1,000-something points. So you could have technically like maxed out the Orb of Power and still gotten like a pack or 2 of the kitty and done it that way. Obviously, I'll probably want to prioritize the unique loot though, particularly Witch's Armor, even though it's fully cosmetic. We don't know if this is ever going to be back in the future, and if it is, it might be money locked. So yeah, I would probably say it's highest priority from a if you're looking to have everything in the game perspective, even though it's just purely cosmetic and not really needed. But it's probably going to be money locked in the future. Like, there's like at least a 90% chance. Especially with how we know how they've done like some other things in the past. Like, that is almost guaranteed next Halloween going to be in like one of those 5 or 10 bundles up here in the corner. Speaking of which, they're trying to sell me Emerald Blade, which reminds me, have we still not had an event for that kingdom yet? Because this happened last Christmas. Because I was away seeing family last Christmas, and I might be this Christmas as well, around New Year's time. And basically, I obviously was with family and completely forgot to go claim. I was still doing some of the dailies, but I forgot to get the weapon from the event thingy. So I didn't end up getting it. However, me not getting it actually hasn't been too big of an issue, because we have not had a Silverglade event since then. I know this because of those 6 weapons we had during that one patch. 2 of them we still haven't gotten yet. The Blackhawk one, because there hasn't been a Blackhawk event, and the Silverglade one, because there hasn't been a Silverglade event. So I've not been able to get this weapon I wasn't able to get last December, because since then, in the last 11 months, we have not had a single Silverglade event, which actually reminds me, can we actually see when the next Silverglade event is? Because this is relevant not just for me getting the weapon, but also for everyone to get that other weapon, as that other weapon has not been available free to play yet, and it's not really worth spending the $5 to get it. That's not what I wanted to look up. I'm not sure why I clicked on weapon. Probably because I'm talking about weapon. I meant to click on troops. I'm looking for Silverglade. That's Divinian Fields. What's Silverglade banner even look like again? There it is, Silverglade. November 28th. We don't know where we're getting, but we do know what we're getting. We're getting the weapons. Okay, so that's later next month. So yeah, November 28th. Are we getting a Blackhawk between then? We are! Okay, November 28th. Interesting date. This is going to be the date where all the weapons added in version 6.2, I believe it was. Wasn't it 6.2? Or am I thinking of a different one? I'm pretty sure it was 6.2. Yeah, every weapon that was added in version 6.2. Or maybe I'm thinking of a different one. But anyways, whatever patch ended up adding that 1 weapon per kingdom. Or not 1 weapon per kingdom, but they added like 6 epic weapons, 1 per like each of these little troops. Yeah, it was 6.2. So when they end up doing that in that one patch, they have actually not been available free to play yet until November 28th. All of them would have cycled once. Black Hawk looks like it's cycling, what, next week? The following week? Yeah, Black Hawk is cycling on November 7th, so that's next week. So next week we'll be able to finally get Rose's pistol for free. And then on the 28th, the week of that week, we'll finally be able to get Arcanus Blade for free. as well as finally get the Emerald Blade from like a year ago and accidentally forgot to get it. But Arcanist Blade, no one has been able to get unless you spent $5 for it. But yeah, these two will be available for the first time for free later this month. Rose Pistol next week, and Arcane's Blade on the 28th, pretty much the last week of the month. Cool. Anyways. Also, we're getting a Mythic this Friday. I kind of forgot to mention that in that one video. It's a pretty forgettable Mythic, though. It's coming out on her birthday as well. Anyways, let me go hand out the code. Still haven't handed out the code yet. Then we'll go mess with the faction. So here you guys go. Enjoy the code. We have gotten more from Kafka. Oh, you know what else I heard from Kafka? I'm not sure if I should even mention this. But, I guess we will. I'm not sure if she's doing it for everyone. I assume she would, or at least anyone might ask. But, you know how we sometimes ask for, like, special codes? Well, I wasn't able to get any this batch. She did say that for the Christmas one, we might be able to get a bundle with one of the old pets and possibly the weapon. I know one thing that they've done in the past with that. I'm not sure about the pet specifically, but I know one that used to be considered a Christmas weapon that I believe still is, because you can't really get it through other means unless you spend like $5, is, oh gosh, what's that candy cane called? Isn't it called Knight something? Yeah, Silent Knight. This was actually the second ever weapon added to the game as far as new weapons, and it was added for the very first Christmas event back in 2014. There have been few opportunities to get it through non-money means, and we might be able to get a code with this. If not that, it will be one of the old Christmas pets. So yeah, we'll have that hopefully sometime next month around the holidays. That'll be fun. Anyways, I'm not sure exactly what Christmas pet it will be, though. Does it even have a category? I don't even think I could type in, like, Christmas or holiday. Let's see. If I just type in holidays, like, no. Oh, holiday shrub, though. Who knows? Maybe that will be the pet. I have no clue, but we'll probably get one with one of the old Christmas ones. Anyways, who knows? Maybe, like, every single streamer will get, like, a different one. And if you tune into all of them, it's like, you'll get the full collection. Actually, that would be a really cool way if they started distributing old pets that way. Because old pets are really annoying to get in the current state of the game. Though, the main thing we need for old pets is more so an event for them, so you can, you know, max them out if you so choose. Because if they're not doing events for them, it's almost impossible to really realistically get them max. Well, it's better than them charging for them, which they always do every year. Like, of course, for the, I wasn't really paying too much attention to, like, the daily bundles, but I'm pretty sure one of the daily bundles during the October event was, hey, here's one of the old, like, 2019 pets for, like, $5-10. I think they did that on one of the days. Because normally they're money locked, the older pets. Very rarely do they get their events anymore. They do on occasion, but it's a lot less frequent these days. I do feel like they need a better way of distributing the old pets, though. Because the cosmetic pets from the past are really, really annoying to try to get. Like, obviously they're cosmetic, so they're really low priority to, you know, ever really get. But if there was one you ever really wanted, it's just really annoying in the current state of the game to really get them. There's no really path other than luck to end up getting to them. Which is something they could definitely address into the future. Still haven't yet. Honestly, pets in general kind of need a rework. Because even the way that pets drop, and how many pets are in the drop table now, it's just so annoying to try to get any pets that you still need. Especially because a lot of time you, like, people super late in the game, they only need, like, maybe a third of all pets, maybe even less. Yeah, like, more than 2/3 of the time, you're just getting repeat junk pets that you don't need any copies of. They're completely pointless to go for. It's definitely a system that could use some revamping. It's actually a system that pretty much has not been revamped since it was released. And pets were released back in 2017, I believe? 2017 or 2018? So it's been almost like 5 years now. Pretty much half the game's life cycle. And they still have not been... Actually, slightly more than half the game's life cycle now that I think about it. And they still have not reworked the pet system since launch. Which could definitely use some addressing. Since it's a little bit of a dated system. Like, it kind of worked back then. Though it still could use some improvements even back then. But nowadays, with how many pets there are, it's definitely use some revisiting, that's for sure. Anyways, let's get into the faction. So I'm just going to grab the team from the video. And it's just a standard Guards Avatar team. Also, we did finally cover the team's video. It was a couple hours ago if you guys didn't catch it already. But all the teams for the entire week, everything from this faction, all the weekly events. The only thing not in there is the Friday Mythic team. Mostly because, you know, the Friday Mythic hasn't released yet. We'll be covering a video on that Friday morning. Didn't we used to get old pets on a Saturday? Yes. They used to, and I specifically say used to, add pets on Saturdays occasionally. I say that because we have not gotten any recently. Like, if I go check the last time this has happened, let me go check on Terrence World. Like, when's the next one that's happening? Do we even have one in Visible Sight? Probably not. Because the easiest way to check is to control find pets and see if any of them say Saturday. No. Oh, there's only 2. But yeah, it's been a while since they've done a Saturday pet. Because that's how they were addressing it, like, somewhat initially, but then they kind of stopped doing them. Like, I think this entire year we've maybe gotten, like, 3, not even, Saturday pets? Maybe 4? Maybe less than that? I'm not even sure. I'm just throwing out numbers because I barely even remember them happening. But yeah, they were doing that for some amount of time, and then they kind of stopped. So I'm not sure exactly what's up with that. Because that was like a kind of like quick fix for it. That wasn't like perfect, but you know, at least it was something. But they don't even do that now. They're finally home. Welcome back. Hope all's been well. Yeah, we do need Saturday pets, but obviously not on a Vault Week. And they have done that on accident, I think, once or twice. Which was a very huge fail. That might actually be one of the reasons why they stopped doing it altogether. Is they don't want it to accidentally conflict with a Vault event. Because that would be exceedingly bad, as they have learned. Also, I just did 0 explodes fail. That is not the first nor last time I will ever click on an ability when there's 0 explodes. It happens. It's the only problem with those exploders that only explode one specific color. Is you do have the liability of if that color is denied, well, you're kind of out of luck. I wonder if it'd be useful to create a text document of... text document as a companion to your weekly videos with the team codes. That way, when you overwrite a team slot in-game, you can refer back to the text doc. But that's kind of what the description is for of the video. That's kind of the whole point of why we even copy-paste all of them into the thing. Well, other than for people to be able to use it quickly. But also, you know, just for reference. So you could just go in there, copy-paste one of them, you're good to go. So even if I overwrite other stuff, or, you know, anyone did, you can simply just reference the video, grab it from the thing, and you're good to go. I've also been pinning them to the... not only do I been pinning them in the description, but I've also been pinning them lately to the comment section. So you can kind of just copy it from there. Because that's basically the equivalent of a text doc. It's just not an actual document, it's simply just on YouTube's end. But effectively it does the same thing. Let's see, we'll take that one over. Also, I do have some teams saved in a document. Especially if I'm moving teams around a bunch. Because I do have a text doc on my computer that has like a bunch of them. Oh, it's mostly just like pretty standard stuff. Are you doing a variety stream on my birthday? My plan for my birthday is we might slightly be doing variety. However, our main focus is probably going to be on Mario Odyssey. I'm going to finally get around to playing Mario Odyssey on my birthday. I think we can complete out the entire game during the duration of my stream. Or during the birthday, I mean. Or, you know, like throughout the day. So basically, we'll be doing that. I might be doing a few others here and there. Like maybe we'll revisit Animal Crossing a little bit. See what our people have to say on our birthday. Because that's always pretty adorable. Especially since I haven't played Animal Crossing in so long. Let's say hi to all of our villagers. They'll celebrate our birthday real quick. That's one fond memory I do have. Actually, never mind. They actually never did do that in the first game, now that I think about it. Though they did have other holidays that were pretty nice. But now that I think about it, they actually didn't celebrate it in the very first game, if I'm not mistaken. Your own birthday, which is kind of funny. Though the memory I probably have the fondest one of is the fireworks show. Because I believe the very first game was the only iteration of Animal Crossing where the fireworks took place on the 4th of July. Which, of course, is America's Independence Day, which works really good for American audience. I think that was one thing that was like changed in their localization, was they basically made that one fireworks show on 4th of July. And I believe it was the only Animal Crossing game that ever did. And I remember one year we couldn't go out to end up seeing fireworks for whatever reason. So I ended up just like loading up Animal Crossing and watching the fireworks in the game. And I think it was like 7 or 8 at the time. It was pretty nice. Because we couldn't see real fireworks, so I just looked at them in-game. And it was funny because with how the GameCube was, obviously it's an older console and everything. So So you didn't actually look at the fireworks directly. You were actually looking at like the water, and on the reflection of the water, you saw the fireworks. It's pretty cool. That was probably my fondest memory I had of like the very first Animal Crossing. The new Mythic for this Friday, any good? No, it is really, really, really bad. It's basically a Mythic that's trying to one-shot that can't properly one-shot. There's quite a few other Mythics in that category, and it is joining them in that very, very awful category. It's pretty much unusable. There's also a pretty unfortunate typing. I believe it's Divine Centaur. Divine not being bad, but Centaur being pretty awful. It's not the worst typing in the game. However, it's close to among one of the more underwhelming ones. Like, if I was to think of top 5 worst typings in the game, Centaur is probably somewheres on that list. Not sure exactly where, but it is definitely somewheres on that list. Actually, that's something I haven't actually done a tier list for. That would actually be an interesting one. A tier list based on every typing in the game. You know which one's number 1. It's definitely going to be Elementalist. The easiest way to tell why it's Elementalist is play the current world event, while also making sure you pick up O'Shea's Tome. Because Elementals are just insane. They have Elemental Hero class, they have O'Shea's Tome. Elementals has some of the best mythics in the entire game. They have one of the better 50% mana starts in the entire game. They got basically everything. They got good mana generator. Actually, their mana generators are not the most ideal, though they do have some pretty decent ones. Though they don't have the best category. The biggest issue that Elementals have, Elementals actually don't have good empowers. That's one thing that they're actually kind of lacking. Because if we go to, I think there's a few, right? Let me double check. Like, I know there's Firebomb, but it's kind of like old meta. Though it's still not horrible. Yeah, let me double check. What is every empower underneath Elemental right now? I know Firebomb's probably one of the first things that come to mind. That's really old meta, but it's still good relative. Dust Devil, that's good in situations, but it's not a mana accumulator. Yeah, you basically only have Drowned Sailor, Firebomb, and Siren. Siren's inconsistent, but usable on some teams. Firebomb can't be used in Underworld, but it can be good in, like, Explore 12 and other things. And, of course, we used it for the event for the video as well, with Rowene Firebomb. And Drowned Sailor is mostly used for Guild War, and not necessarily in an Elemental team, but more so for his Empower Gem Convert. And Dust Devil is obviously used for Ironhawk, which is good for, insanely good for that, but not necessarily a mana accumulation source. So honestly, their options aren't that bad. They're definitely not the best Empower crew, but yeah, I kind of forgot they have Dust Devil too. Dust Devil, of course, used for good old Ironhawk builds, which that's a pretty nice one. So you know what? Actually, now that I look at it, their Empowers actually aren't that bad. Because this is used for Guild War, this is used for Explore 12 and a few other weird situations like this event week when you're restricted out of it. That stuff was used for some of the quickest farming teams in the entire game. Drowned Sailor is used for Guild War. Yeah, they don't have that bad of a Empower line. But yeah, they're definitely the best typing. It's not even close. Not because of those Empowers though, but because of pretty much everything else. Other Empowers aren't that bad. I think Fae overall actually has the best Empowers. Mostly because they have so many of them. Because a lot of Empowers, oddly enough, are also green-purple coloration. And it's also a coloration that's very common to Fae. I'll tell you something funny, I'm bad at on-the-spot funny things. Because I am not a funny person. I have negative amounts of funny. Yeah, the new Mythic isn't good. We're still going to be getting it and doing a video on it Friday morning. Before we start out our birthday stream, we'll be doing it. Because the way my Friday's probably going to go is... well, then again, I forgot, I still need to call some family during that time. I'm still not sure, actually, now that I think about it. Because we might have to start closer to noon, but the problem with starting closer to noon is, you know what, maybe we will be doing a variety stream instead of doing Mario Odyssey. Because I'm probably going to have to start closer to noon on Friday. Because the things I need to do are kind of in the morning. Not just the video, but other things I need to do on my birthday. But then, That won't be enough time to do like any one game. So, you know what? Maybe we will just do a variety stream, just kind of mess around with whatever. Because trying to do one singular game, we probably won't have enough time. So I do plan on getting that Mythic video up closer to like 3 or 4 a.m. Or probably closer to 4 a.m. There's just no way we can get up at 3 a.m. We can't even start recording until then. Generally, if a Mythic isn't changed by now, they're probably not changing it. They have been kind of notorious for adding some really useless Mythics lately. It's kind of weird because, you know, Mythics, you would assume, is one of the best categories in the game. But they love adding really useless Mythics to the game sometimes. I'm not sure why. Because you would think they would try to incentivize people to try to spend resources and stuff to try to get Mythics. Which some people will do regardless how good or bad they are. Because we just have enough, actually, resources. But it's just kind of weird how many Mythics go and come by and just don't really do much. Like, at least with something like, let's say, the Onyx Giant. It's not, like, meta-defining. But it's good enough, fun enough, unique enough that it can be used. And I like Mythics like that. Like, even if they're not, like, the best thing in the world, they're at least usable. Vespera is a pretty good example of that. We covered a team for it a little bit earlier. And, because we're showing, like, the magic version of her. There's a couple different ways to build her, depending on what color you're going for. But I showed the purple magic version of her earlier in the other video. Which I haven't actually shown on stream yet, so might as well real quick. But, this is one of the angles that you can run Vespera. It's really fun. This isn't the gain 1000 all stats build, it's more so just trying to win slightly quickly build, which is one way that you could try to be ran. So basically slow this down, get a purple. Unfortunately, really bad mana cycle there. We'll go for another Leprechaun. If you could just give us enough mana, that'd be great. I need you to hit purple, please. There we go, okay. And now we just sacrifice out, go create like, probably some yellow just to keep the color going. Do it again, kill himself out, boom. Now hopefully we have some good alignment, and we just kind of go from there. You know what? I'm actually going to go for another purple right here. Gain a bunch of stats. Trying to get alignment on the thing. We don't really have it. I'm just going to go for it, though. Seems fine. Unfortunately, I should have went for one more buff because we actually did not have enough magic, but oh well, we'll do it again. Boom. And here, have it dead. But, yeah, you can kind of just cycle magic, get a nice big poke down, and kill them out. It's a very gimmicky build, though it's very fun. And you can do it more consistently with blue or yellow to get infinite stats, 1000 of all stats. But I do find purple to be a bit quicker when it comes to time to win, which for most part is what you're aiming for with most teams. Blue and yellow are a lot more consistent with her because her summons are blue and yellow. So if the team starts to fall apart in any way, you will still have recovery into those colors. Whereas if you do it in the purple and start falling behind, you kind of just lose. But the purple variant definitely wins pretty quickly. Not like the quickest thing in the game, but relative to Vespera teams, they're on the quicker side compared to blue or yellow. So we'll take that one down. Yeah, Scourge of Honor is pretty good. Scourge of Honor is basically alternative Phoenicia. It does some things that Phoenicia can't do, while also doing some... Like, basically, they have trade-offs that one can do compared to the other. The Scourge of Honor is basically alternative Phoenicia, so it's pretty good. Obviously, main difference being that it does true damage. It does overall less damage, but it's better at gaining its mana back if you're trying to double cast it. And it's also specifically hitting at their true damage value, you know, their HP value. So there's a bit different build diversity that you can do that specifically focuses on hitting for true damage. Yeah, we got 1, 2, 3 shards. Nice. Oh, so where's the other Valraven? Use Scourge of Honor for a large amount of factions. He does start to fall off once you get too deep, unfortunately. He's mostly good for... Basically, if he can double shot on his true damage, and maybe even triple shot, he's in a range where he can be usable. Generally, anything that starts getting his, like, triple quad tends to be slightly too slow for him compared to like Tesla and other similar true damage options. Because that's one nice thing that Tesla has is she can normally always secure within 3. Obviously sometimes within 2, but she's never really going to need a 4. Which if you start getting to too high stats, Scourge of Honor actually does need a 4 cast. Like for example, level 500 factions. Unless you happen to have a lot of stats. Oh, it was one of your first 3 mythics? Oh, that's a pretty nice one to end up getting then. He's pretty versatile. You should name your mushroom today from the Mario franchise. Wait, what? What mushroom? Oh yeah, this next mythic is definitely pretty skippable. I'll be going over this Friday with all the info and everything, but it definitely seems like it's gonna be in the skippable category. Like the only thing it really has going for is it has like a little bit of magicking to a yellow storm while kind of doing some pokes. But even if it can consistently one-shot, it's not really worth it. 17 more days to go, yeah, until the next Pokemon game. Actually, I have a little bit of time tomorrow. I might finally do the stream where I go catch all of the curry Pokemon. Because they're adding sandwiches next next patch, which I'm pretty sure Lester will be happy with. But they're adding sandwiches instead of curry. So that mechanic that they have in Sword and Shield is going to be unique to Sword and Shield, so I kind of wanted to go collect all of them. I think there's like 30-something to collect. It's basically just going to be us cooking virtual curry for an entire stream. Did you hear sandwich? Yes. Next gen Pokemon has a sandwich cooking simulator. Which honestly I feel like is my lunch time every single day. Maybe not literally every single day. Oh no, I'm not big on sandwiches. We've had a whole sandwich controversy in the past on this channel. But, I don't know, sandwiches are okay. Like, they're one of those foods I consume if I'm just looking for subsistence, not if I'm looking to make, like, a really good sandwich. Because generally, any sandwiches I make are for the purpose of consumption, not for the purpose of making a good tasting sandwich. Because it's one of those categories of food that if I'm making it, it's more so just because, you know, I need food to eat. Not because I'm trying to make a really good sandwich. We had a long conversation about this, I think last year? Early this year? I don't remember. We had like a whole sandwich controversy. Maybe you can make Mario Odyssey our next after-hour stream. I'm not going to make Mario Odyssey our next after-hour stream. Actually, I'll probably make Gems of War our next after-hour stream if we end up doing one. This is a lot easier to talk during Gems of War than it is a different game. Because we know all the openings and downtime that is within the game. We also can play it so consistently that we can basically not even look at the board and still win every fight. We can basically pay like 10% attention to the game and still win like every fight while just like looking at chat. Because we just know all the motions for like everything in the game. Or it's a lot harder when you're doing a game you haven't played before, especially an action-based one like Bayonetta. Because there's a lot of times I couldn't really look at chat too much. Just because it's not only an action-based game that requires like constant input, but also, you know, just all moving so quickly. So you constantly have to keep doing stuff. Yeah, we're talking about sandwiches again. Yeah, it's been a while. The sandwich topic has returned. That's your new intro, sprouts out of nowhere. That sounds very sexual. I need mana. I don't have mana, so I'm just gonna kill them all. Solution, just click the win button. Also, I just realized I'm using the wrong metal setup, aren't I? Oh no. Oh wait, actually, yes, I am. Because we're using an armor team right now. Though I'm not sure why I'm switching it, like, literally on the final fight. Actually, that's not true. We still have 8 more. Or a whole floor left, I mean. Plus, maybe we might have to do an extra 1 or 2 since this place scoring isn't too good. Yes, I am bypassing the mushroom jokes, though I do see them. So hello, Jen Keefe, I didn't say hi, as well as Jay Shar. Welcome, welcome. Is there a faction assault today? You didn't notice? Yeah, there is one. Same loot as always, every Tuesday. I only misbehave on other streams. Oh, he's already dead. I was expecting him to revive. That troop does have a 25% chance to revive on death, which is very annoying, so I always expect it to happen. Also, thank you for the continued support, Isabel. Can we do a Q&A and S-Task the After Dark stream? Sure, I could do the Q&A feature for the After Dark stream. That'd be really funny. Especially since I believe they're anonymous, from what I could tell, based on what we concluded on the other one. So I won't even say what name each one is being asked from. I think I did for the first one. But if we did it for something like that, I won't mention the name. Though it might be somewhat easy to tell based on who's in the stream at a given time. What's in No, I will not answer the question, what's in the box. That was asked 4 times we tested the feature last night, and literally 4 different people asked what was in the box. I answered every other question except that one. We will eventually say what's in the box. Just not yet. It's not time. Honestly, at this point, the suspense of what's in the box is almost more interesting than what's actually in the box at this point. Though maybe not. Because it is quite out there what's in the box. Dead cat is in the box. No, it is not Schrodinger's cat. A dead dog? No. It is not an animal. Yeah, honestly, it reminds me a lot of what ends up happening with Five Nights at Freddy's. I'm not sure if any of you guys followed that series. But basically, like, when the game was going to conclude, there was basically, like, this hidden locked box. And it was originally going to be shown. But the developer of the game eventually decided that it's probably best to, like, never show what was actually in the box. So now it's, like, forever a mystery for that game. Like, oh, what's in the box? And that is basically what has happened with this box. Though I do intend to eventually say what it is. Just not yet. Also, really? No! Oh, that hurts. We're double digit away. We're only 66 points away. Almost 69, close. The game tried. But we're 66 points away from getting this. So we got to go spend 30 gems just for 66 points. Oh, we get a little bit of loot here. Honestly, spending 30 gems there isn't that big a deal. It's better not to, with how many things require gems these days. However, I'll throw down the one little thing and get our reward. It's definitely worth it. 30 gems for orb is definitely worth it. Even with how the economy on orbs have gone down, it is still perfectly fine to spend 30 gems for an orb. Especially when it's going to be a blue orb like that. Boom, double blues. Perfect. So we just spent 30 gems on a blue orb then. Obviously, it's not always going to be blue, but that one is a blue. Can you try out a team for you? Sure. With a Lantern, Banner, Priest class, Gorgoltha, Hero, Divine Protector, Ubistet, and Infernus. Fun. Yeah, that used to be done. Not exactly the same one. Normally it was ran without Gorgoltha and in place of something else, like a Mercy or something. But yeah, Infernus Ubistet with Divine Protector used to be a combo. Ubistet was nerfed way into the ground though in the past. Normally it was ran with Divine Ishbala instead of Gorgoltha, but we can go show it with that. We'll override our first team, I guess. Gorgoltha. Also, this is probably one of the only times Priest class is ever used, is with Divine Protector. If you ever wonder why anyone says Priest class is good, they were referring to Divine Protector existing. Because Divine Protector is the reason, and pretty much the only reason, as to why... also, thank you for the $50 tip, Isabel. Greatly, greatly appreciated. For my birthday and the next campaign funds. Thank you so, so much, Isabel. Greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. But yep, we'll definitely make sure to go use it for that. And thanks for the extra for the birthday. What was I saying again? But yeah, Divine Protector is pretty much the reason why Priest class is considered even remotely good. Because Priest class is kind of underwhelming. But Divine Protector is among one of the better typing-specific weapons in the game. And it's realistically only doable with Priest. And it's basically the main thing that makes Priest not horrible. Is the fact Divine Protector exists. Like, almost every Priest team in existence uses Divine Protector, as is about the only way you can really get away with using it. Alright, there we go. Where's Infernus? Infernus. Where's Infernus? There it is. Gosh, I haven't used Infernus in a while. He's a bit old meta, but he's still pretty good. And what was the banner? Banner was Lantern banner. I do not remember which one Lantern is. Can I just type in Lantern? You can. I kind of forgot you could do that. There we go. That's the team. Alright, let's go check it real quick. We'll do an Explore 12, I guess. Hello, Sword's Edge. But yeah, this should work out pretty well. Similar team to this, but without Gorgoltha, but instead Divine Ishbala used to be used. Because of the 50% mana start. Obviously, that's not 50% anymore. Now 40%. Divine Protector, please get full mana so you can start doing things. There you go. Alright, so main way that this team ends up getting used is you go and hit with Divine Protector into kill range. If you're not fully into kill range, you can use Ubistet. However, in this case, was that 150? No, it's not in kill range. So you have to throw down an... oh, really? You're not going to hit him? Really? You're just not going to hit him. Okay, fine. I'm just going to go for this to bring him into kill range. This will now allow us to Ubistet double kill, and then we repeat the cycle and do it again. That's pretty much as simple as that. And we get the mana back. Boom, double Ubistet, double check is in kill range. It's not doing that. And now we kill it. Boom, dead. But yeah, this team used to be used quite a bit in the past. With Divine Ishbala instead of Gorgoltha. But Gorgoltha definitely makes it a lot safer. Especially since Divine Ishbala is a little bit less relevant for it. The only big issue with this team, a little bit of a slow mana start prior to getting Divine Protector or Gorgoltha. But once you do, it kind of just wins. Oh, I forgot to take yellow there. Whoops. Because the biggest issue is just getting the initial mana. Once you get the initial mana, you're basically already won. But that could be a bit of a liability in PvP and other similar situations. Explorer 12, it's probably not as big a deal, but there are teams that will obviously win quicker. That's still pretty decent in the current state of the game. It's definitely a very old meta team, that's for sure. But it still works. Because back in the day, like, every single team was built around, oh, that wasn't enough damage, apparently. But, like, every single team was built around, like, Gorgoltha into, like, a Divine setup. Because Divines at one point were, like, what Elementals are now. Oh, also, I wasn't even using the right setup. Whoops. I was wondering why. Oh, there we go. But, I guess we'll do one more with it, then. You can also technically do it with Seasons, so that you get a little bit more kill range on Ubistet. But going for that magic, so Infernus and stuff also gets the value. Same as Divine Protector and everything. But yeah, back in the day, Divine Protector was like the meta with like Divine teams. If you're wondering why Divine Ishbala is the only troop in the game that is 40% mana start instead of 50%, it is pretty much because Divine Protector exists. Like Divine Protector, with like a few troops that had synergy with it, like Ubistet, who got nerfed into the ground around the time, are like the reason why they are basically not used anymore, because they were just nerfed into the ground. And they were a little bit overly nerfed. Particularly Ubistet. Ubistet used to have a 4-to-1 ratio instead of a 6-to-1. So he's basically getting 50% less scaling damage compared to what he used to have way back in the day. Anyways, I think we finished everything. Anyone else have any other questions? Anything you want me to go over? Any other anythings? And of course, thanks a ton again, Isabel, for the $50 tip. Greatly, greatly appreciated. Let me go read up, because I think I did miss a couple things. Let's see, now I owe you Pokemon. Well, sure, we'll do a Pokemon stream tomorrow. I was already probably planning on doing one. As well as just leading up to the thing up in 2 weeks. Let's see. You used the Priest class because it gave you 2 health when you matched 4 or 5 gems. Yeah, it does have quite a few ways to survive, which is nice. Barrier on Brown still ultimately does more survivability, but it does still have its own unique way of surviving. Hello, Patrick. Can you try a team? Oh, wait, never mind. I just did that team. But yeah, we just showed it. And yeah, it's pretty good. A bit of an old meta, but it does definitely still work to this day. Unfortunately, Divines were kind of nerfed like crazy throughout the years. However, it's still pretty strong. Let's see. Saturday is Pink Noodle Day. Are they? Ooh. That's funny. That reminds me. I still need to go send over my Square Shiny one. I was getting all the ribbons on it and forgot to finish it. I was doing that the other week and then didn't end up completing it because I didn't want to do these shows because they're so annoying. That's one thing that they absolutely butchered when they did the remake of Gen 4, is the pageant shows are like a shell of what they used to be. And they're definitely nowhere near as fun as what they used to be. They basically got replaced by a one-button rhythm game. Which compared to what it was is such a downgrade. Like, it's still kind of fun, like, initially. But then after you do it, like, a few dozen times for a bunch of Pokemon, it's like, it's a bit repetitive. It's literally just mashing one button in rhythm. Let's see. Let's see. Just reading through all the chat. Oh yeah, it has been a long time, Patrick. Always great to see new and returning people, always, as per usual. If anyone ever has any questions, anyone asks, definitely do let me know. And of course, we're here every single night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We've been doing this for years now. Actually, how many years has it been since we were streaming? Almost 5, 6? We've been doing this channel for like 6.5 at this point. But yeah, we're still going every single night. If you guys ever want to stop by, feel free to do so. Kind of just chill, mess around with stuff, and just kind of have a little bit of fun. Anyways, guys, I'm going to be heading out for now. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. We'll be back tomorrow night, as I mentioned. Same time as always. Hour prior to now tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys know the drill. Aside from that, yeah, we'll probably do some midday streams the next few days. Tomorrow, I'm probably going to be doing one for Pokemon, where we go get a bunch of the curry Pokemon. It's something I wanted to go do, so I figured we'd just do it on stream anyways, since it was something I've been meaning to get around to for a while, and I have a bit of time tomorrow, so might as well. Thursday, we're going to probably do the Fall Guys event around noon. Probably just for a few hours, probably like 2-3 hours. They have some kind of event. I can't remember exactly what it was for, but it's for something, so might as well. Friday, we'll be doing, I guess, a variety stream. Probably starting around noonish, or maybe a little bit earlier. Depends how my morning goes. I'll be covering the Mythic before I go to bed. Then I have some things I need to do in the morning, mostly just talking to family who wants to call me and stuff like that. Get all that done in the morning. And then by noon, I should hopefully be clear, and we'll probably just do a little bit of a variety stream or something, I guess, on Friday. I'm not sure exactly yet, but we'll do something. We'll just kind of mess around. It's our birthday. We might as well just chill. So we'll just kind of just do whatever. And then I'm not sure what we're doing this weekend as far as midday streams, if any. But that's pretty much the game plan for now. Anyways, guys, have a wonderful, wonderful week. Thanks again, Isabel, for the tip. Greatly appreciated. And I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for watching.